Look what I brought, fellas. I saw this when I was having my evening snack because I'm 38 and still eat snacks. And I found this hot sauce collection that I've taken out part of.
You
It's
eat
a trip
hot
around
sauce
the
as a
world.
snack?
No, I wasn't. I just found it in there. I'm not just
That's a
drinking
drink.
3-ounce
Zach,
hot
that's a
sauce
drink.
shots.
Sure.
And it got me thinking, do you guys, what is your hot sauce tolerance? Do you have a hot sauce tolerance?
When I lived in Texas and I was allergic to everything, my nose was always clogged up, and there's a connection between your taste and your nose. And I couldn't smell anything, I couldn't taste anything, and I went to like the Thai restaurants and said, "Scare me," and I mean, like, it didn't protect me from a couple hours later, but inside the restaurant, I felt like a big, strong man.
Yeah. I mean, I would think it would maybe give you a runny nose and a runny elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Now that I've moved to, I can't tell you where.
One of these days we're going to forget.
My spice tolerance is a bit lower. Also, who am I impressing? The kids? Pepper is too spicy. We can't use pepper in our house.
Oh, no. Now that I can smell pepper, it's too much.
Spicy.
Alex, do you ever go for hot sauce?
I'm all over the place. There's certain days where I feel like I can really tolerate some spicy stuff. I mean, we had a friend who got all that Hot Ones stuff, and we got a ways up there. I even tried one of the last dabs that I think was old, and so it was, I don't know, it was oxidized or something. Didn't really kill me, again, until the next day when I, got to re-experience it. But I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of volume.
Guys, we are being so classy about.
Yes. We're just alluding to the idea of poop. Yes.
People can use their imagination.
You ruined it.
Oh, no. But no, I'm a big fan. Like, I could get, Valentina or Louisiana hot sauce, dump half a bottle of that on one taco, and it's soup at that point. It's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
What beautiful soup.
Oh, man. My work had me host a short, run of Hot Ones type episodes for a marketing thing, and somehow I got wrangled into being the host, and my goodness, doing that every 2 weeks or so built up a tolerance. Although there was one time that there was one time where I was like, I don't want this to cut into going to play basketball, which I usually do around lunch, so I'm gonna go play basketball right after doing this.
Ooh.
This was like my Michael Jordan flu game. I was like walking around half court, and I was like nailing 3-pointers from like real far out because I just couldn't do anything else. I did get sick.
Every shot's granny style because the cramps. Yeah, exactly.
And there was like this bathroom in the gym that was like hidden off to the corner. Like no one knew it existed. I went in there, thought I was going to die. And I was sitting there thinking like, they're going to find me in here like a week later. No one checks this bathroom. No one even knows this bathroom exists. My entire life, all the choices I've made have brought me to this moment. Yeah. It was a result of the bomb amongst other ones. There was a chocolate Reaper sauce that comes from, I think, the best hot sauce maker's name ever, Pucker Butt, which is just the greatest. Pucker Butt. Go look up some Pucker Butt hot sauces when you get time.
I'll put the safe search on.
Tonight's episode is brought to you by Pucker Butt hot sauce.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of ad break, no.
Sponsor me, please. But you know what didn't have me, puckering my butt was the Animorphs TV show that aired many, many moons ago.
Hey, that's what we watched this week.
It was? Oh, my.
What a great transition. With that, this is Animorphs 55, the podcast. I'm Zach.
I'm Patrick.
And I'm Alex.
And you're not going to get our last names this episode.
That's how they get you.
That is.
We did. We watched the first, suckered into 2 episodes of the Animorphs TV show as a split 2-parter called My Name is Jake.
Part 1 and part 2.
Ominous.
Featuring Sean Ashmore, a.k.a. Iceman.
And some other people that I did not recognize.
A bunch of other people.
Yeah, the credits, everything was like, look, this is our star. And then I don't know if I heard any of the other people's names.
Yeah. I mean, it did run for 2 years. It was filmed in Canada, as I suspected. I was watching it.
Actually,
and it had very much, yeah.
This ran for like just a hair over 1 year. It very much so in the vein of all of the books where they were released kind of just on a rapid pace. This went from September 15th to October 8th of the next year. So
2 seasons,
just a
but not
hair
years.
over it.
Yeah, and I think it got abruptly canceled, didn't it?
I mean, it managed to complete 26 whole episodes. So yeah, it was just too popular.
Nice.
That's why they had to shut it down. The kids were
They were
clamoring.
like the kids are watching this way too much. They need to go back to their schoolwork or whatever. Yeah.
You know, like it feels like there's a lot of view on this show as being terrible because, oh my goodness, you watch it now and, we'll get into it.
Yeah, well,
but
we can get into the hot takes now.
All of it is hosted on YouTube, and there's like 800,000 views on every episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible.
Someone's watching it for comfort, I'm sure. But I mean, at least we'll let's get out of the way what good things there were about it, because I feel like this will be the shortest part. I really I don't have a whole lot of great things to say about this. If I was going to go ahead and say one thing, it's that it was a TV series, and I wasn't immediately inclined to turn it off. So, with that being said, go ahead and hit me with your happy takes.
Ooh, my favorite part was when the credits rolled at the end. I was like, thank God.
Great part. Great part.
Okay, so my favorite part is actually right at the beginning. So let's use this transition into talking about the episode. So in the first book, it starts with them being in an arcade. In the beginning of this TV series, they're, I guess, technically in an arcade, although it's like every arcade machine is okay. So I grew up in sort of rural Texas, and we had Dairy Queens with the little tables with the Pac-Man machine like built into the face of the table.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Yeah.
It's like that.
They don't make those no more. But every machine in there was basically that crossed with the McDonald's that had the Nintendo 64 in it.
Exactly.
That's what it felt like.
Exactly those two things mashed together with some sort of they showed the video game a couple of times, and it was kind of I made this Mech Warrior game in an hour and a half.
And I think they were playing online. Like, was Jake and Marco playing Tobias in a game online or like on some local server? Were they in the same room?
In the arcade?
Yeah. Tobias was also playing the same game in the same area, and then he left awkwardly when the girls came in. And I couldn't really follow if this was like online gaming happening or what on these.
I couldn't tell.
They had the computers were that. It was a weird room. Have you ever been to a place like that in a mall? It was like sci-fi vibes, but like kind of dingy, sort of. And
the
Cyber
to bring more memories to this, it's like when you go to a mall that's got a glow-in-the-dark putt-putt in the mall.
Yep. Yeah.
It's that kind of aesthetic.
Yeah. And if like 4 people are there.
Yes. So the girls show up, and
Oh, and he
they're
has.
like, oh, hey.
Sorry, Jake has his
Yes.
dog at the mall too before the girls show
Yeah,
up. Yeah,
right.
that's a thing that people do. Anyways, now continue.
Well, okay, so we're not supposed to know where it is. Jake bringing his dog into the mall is at least for me, it's a huge giveaway as to where they are.
Uh-huh.
It's gotta be Texas. When I lived there, oh no, I just mentioned that I live in.
You can redact it.
I edit this. I never saw dogs inside anywhere. I moved to. They have to specially have signs to say, please, service animals only, or else people will bring their dogs, their cats, their buzzards,
Animals they found,
whatever.
Yeah, it's like getting out of hand. Like for a while there was with the flight pets that you could take.
Oh yeah, people bringing their pigs and
support animals.
Snakes
I think someone
and
brought a
whatever.
peacock once. I think that was a real thing. Yeah. So
so the girls show up and Rachel's like, as you know, I am the captain of my my gymnastics team, and I have a meet coming up, and I am in gymnastics.
This is such an unnatural way to speak to someone. I felt like Marco and Jake were like, okay.
Yes, we are friends. You are my cousin, though we haven't established that in the TV series. Yes, we know.
Yeah.
We know about your gymnastics.
Yeah. So Tobias walked out, and then Homer's just like, I can't listen to this girl talk about gymnastics anymore, and runs away. Right?
Yeah. Well, something happens, and the game very slowly crashes.
Oh,
the top half of it goes to TV static.
That's right.
And then Jake forces out a very unnatural, dude, you got blown away. It's like Marco died so badly that the whole game crashed. And that was the tipping point for Homer.
Yeah.
Homer the dog.
Homer's like, I can't take this anymore.
And this was my favorite part of the whole 2-episode series.
When he lost his dog?
Homer takes off, and then they chase him for a full minute of screen time. I timed it. I went back and I said, okay, now he has run away. And I watched it and I said, now they have caught up with him. It was a full minute of screen time. They used that time to do the credits, but
yeah,
it's not an interesting minute of TV.
There is a lot of human time in this episode for being a book about being animals, which I don't know what you're gonna do in the late 90s with filming animals and the graphics of morphing and such. But man, there was even parts later in the thing that we'll get to where they're just hiding next to the controllers as kids, and oh, let me provide this distraction with my voice and my bright orange jacket. Oh, gonna run away now and not morph ever.
Yeah, I thought for sure they had caught Marco at that point, but then he runs away, and then we see them run around the corner to see him.
Yeah, there's
Without
a lot of
that running around the corner shot, I would have thought, well, he's dead.
But early on, it has. If you guys ever watched the Goosebumps TV show, it has that vibe to me as it's going. Very it's got that weird ambient background sound music, if you call it music.
Industrial.
So it was just yeah, and the whole time. For a second, I was like, "What am I hearing?" I was looking around my room, what is that? Oh my god, it's
a fly
the show
in my ear.
Yeah, so they get to the construction site, and Tobias is super awkward, standing there, and he's like, "Look." So they look.
Yeah, they get, but so they leave the arcade and they run for a full minute of TV show while the sun is out.
Oh, and
they
then it's
get
dark
to the construction yard.
Forgot about
and they go through between them, getting to the gate or the fence, and them crawling through the fence. They crawl through the fence and it's dark.
Yeah, black.
And they're
yeah,
just 3 hours. 3 hours
chasing
time
this dog.
Passed.
You want to talk about the
this is the
Andalite?
pilot. Please, this is the pilot. Please don't make us spend money. Kind of shots.
Oh,
They had an Andalite mask.
Yeah.
And so all of the shots of Elfanger are very close up.
Yeah.
And then
or
a lot of the feet.
Yeah.
Okay, there's several times in this episode where we see feet walk by, and every single time it's so obvious that they're just feet on sticks. that somebody is like, I think I know how to make feet look natural when they're moving.
Also, I think that they're repeat shots. Like, it's like, here's these hooves going down, and then I like the next time the hooves went down, I was like, that grate is in the exact same place. That hoof like pressed on the same part there. I think they're just reusing these shots over
My cousin
and over
charged
again.
me $75 to rent a horse, and we are going to get our money's worth out of it, okay? That's a lot of this budget.
Yeah. So Elfinger comes out and just mega exposition time, which I don't know. I guess that's what happened in the book, but man, way to make it boring.
Yeah, and then he does the thought speak thing with images, and it's the just 1993est ever graphics.
Oh, forgot about that.
It's I don't even have a comparison for this.
Do you think they
I don't
saw
think
it that
I was
way?
allowed to watch TV at this point.
Do you think they saw it in that style? Do you think they were like,
yes?
Do you think they even were focused on the little tiny Yeerk hanging on the ear? They were like, what are these graphics, Elfinger?
I can't believe how advanced these aliens are.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything this good.
Oh, I don't think they think they're very advanced, because at the end of the episode, Rachel says, hey, let's play this disc from the Andalite in Jake's computer. I'm sure these technologies are completely the same.
Which, okay, we're definitely skipping ahead with that, but they call it a disc throughout the whole episode, and then I think the prop guy is like, I thought I brought my CDs with me today. I didn't. What do we have? I have an electric razor. We can put like a deflated ball on the end of.
Yeah.
Like,
and it might spin sometimes.
It might spin. Yeah. It's the weirdest thing.
Because Elfinger gives this to Tobias. I mean, it is a key prop that doesn't exist in the book and suddenly is a thing in the show.
Did you see him give it to him?
He threw it. In the most,
he just kind of yeets it at him. He doesn't actually. And then Tobias later is like, "I never actually touched it," and I'm like, "Oh man, this is a comedy of errors, y'all."
Like when my kid was 2, he could throw better than that.
He said, "Protect it with your heart and your soul," and Tobias said, "I ain't touching that, man. I'm not doing it."
Yeah, I tried throwing more than 4 feet away.
I'm not touching that. Do you see how many fingers that guy has?
Ew, gross.
This guy's like 7 fingers.
Yeah. Okay, so
I completely missed the whole disc until they dug it up at the end,
which I couldn't even see. Well, we get to that later too. But so Elfinger's dying and has green eyes in the mask, and then Visitor 3 shows up, and it's like the same. But did they change the eye color?
Yes, they did. It was like orangish eyes.
Okay, and he's more like yelly when he talks.
Yeah, he really does talk like that, like radio villain style of like the old timey radio villains, vaudeville style. It's very, very absurd, straight from the jump, comparatively to the idea of like very efficient. Hey, go kill those kids, go kill those Andalites, just get it done. Kind of chill boss kind of thing that I got in the first book, but no, much more. Yeah, go get them, you fool. Love that. I love that attitude.
We learned English on our spaceship from intercepting your TV signals from the 1950s. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the book, Jake goes and gets the cube out of the ship, but in this, Elfinger just like had it in his pocket that he.
You don't want to know where he got it from.
I don't want to know where it was.
He just had it. Don't worry about it.
So they all run away, right? And there's just like more human time. Elfinger eats them.
Real quick.
Can't forget that.
Real quick. There's a real aversion to showing Elfinger on screen because budget, I assume.
Oh, definitely.
And so it keeps zooming in on his face, and then it zooms into reaction shots for the kids, and then his face, and then the kids, and then his face, and then the kids. And then at one point, I think somebody watching it was like, this is too boring, going back and forth. We got to spice this up. So they do a reaction shot from Homer the dog.
Right.
It's
the dog's the emotional
Elfinger says something dramatic, and then just a close up of the dog, and he's like, huh?
Perfect.
It's just
what
wonderful.
Everyone wanted to know is what Homer was thinking at the time. Yeah. So.
Oh, and then I wrote this down. He doesn't explain why they need to touch the cube until they have already done it.
It's true.
He's just like, you need to touch this cube. Okay. I don't know, man. Should we do it? Well, the alien said to do it. Rachel's like, let's do it. Yeah. No, man. I double dare.
Okay, I'll do it. Fine.
Oh God.
Marcus, and so they all touch this cube, and he's
persuadable. Yes.
They all touch the cube, and then he tells them what it does.
Mm-hmm. And
like they have no idea they're going to get powers.
And it makes a little tingly sound, so obviously it worked.
Is it the same tingly sound that they get
books?
when they acquire a new when they acquire a new animal? It's just them like petting a cat and then
yeah, like I wonder if it's
I think I got it.
To like people, if they're at the gardens or whatever and they're petting something and it makes that sound.
Did you just acquire my cat? I heard a swoosh swoosh.
Oh no. Sorry. You didn't even ask my cat permission to acquire it. Get out of my house.
But it explains why they never go after that cube ever again to acquire. Vista 3 never goes after that cube, as far as I know, because it just looks like a garbage little plastic cube. Why would anybody suspect that holds this, phenomenal cosmic power?
Yeah, is there one or is there many? Like, is that the only one?
It's just a Lego set I cast a spell on, so, it is what it is.
We spent all of our budget on fuel. We couldn't make this look any better than it does.
So they run away, and we see a good shot of a amazing looking Hork-Bajir. And
do we?
Which is a valiant effort. It's a valiant effort.
We never see him even fully framed. I think you see flashes of a handful of dinosaur costumes from a various number of dinosaur films and TV shows.
The stomping was pretty great.
Yes,
those
boots
were definitely like
very
individual.
Much. Yeah.
Individual legs on sticks.
Yes,
and this is where Jake just was like, "I'm gonna do this thing I've never done before. Right now, I just learned to morph like 5 minutes ago, and I'm gonna morph into my dog." And in the books, do they ever morph 10 feet away from a controller? I mean, you could say it's the first one and they don't know, but like, my goodness, you think you'd be careful.
Nah.
Maybe some casual. I mean, I guess I say that, but then in the first book, they're in the pool, right? And then isn't Rachel like running away, turning into elephant as she's running away or something like that?
Well, yeah, and Cassie turns into a horse in the middle
or maybe that's it.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not that far off. And we see that Chapman can do a chicken leg scratch the back of his leg giveaway thing, because you have to have something that shows it quickly, right? Yeah, awkward way to scratch. Yeah, it's a weird, consistent tick. But he morphs clothes, so he's not going to demorph and be naked. Supposedly.
Yeah, we conveniently sidestepped that. That was probably for the best, considering this is a show about teenagers and it's on network television. We should probably not have them have to work out, oh no, I'm nude. Nope, we're going to bypass that thoroughly.
Yep. Yeah, and do his friends just ditch him?
I mean, I didn't like Jake.
I mean, I think they've all run for their lives. Cassie just like trips, and then like the camera cuts to her again, and she's completely tied up in these cables. Like she's tripped into these cables, and then must have like alligator spun through them. She's just like spaghettied in these cables, and Jake's like tugging at him, and no, I'm not gonna be able to do this in time. And so he like casually jogs 20 feet to the right and says, over here. And then we get this great scene of him slowly jogging away and looking at the camera, which then cuts to the Hork-Bajir's point of view from like 10 feet in the air, looking down at him. Like his head couldn't possibly be any higher than his waist.
Like a predator type view? Like a...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and he just keeps slowly jogging away and going, over here. And then...
You'll never know what I look like.
Yeah, and then he just like ducks into a pipe somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe he runs full speed for a second and then gets away and then gets into this big cement pipe. And then Homer finds him and he morphs into Homer. And oh, it's just a couple dogs. Never mind. And then Visser 3 is like, no, you got to get those dogs. They could be Andalites. We haven't seen any we've always seen as teenagers.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any Andalites.
Yeah,
What?
there's no reason to think that. They kind of, for an episode that had so much exposition, they kind of glossed over those kind of like details. They just assume you know, I guess.
Yeah.
But my point is it's a straight cut, right? Like, oh, now it's the next day at school.
Yeah.
And they're all like, I hope Jake got away. Like, what? You like went to sleep. You went home. You
Everything will work out fine. Whatever.
Yeah. Screw this. I don't know where all my friends are. There was aliens. I'm just gonna go to bed.
You know what? I should call Jake's house. Hey, Tom, is Jake there? No, Jake's not there. Okay, well, we were at the construction site and we saw some aliens, and I think Jake is still there.
Oh, interesting. Okay, you have a good
You want to come with me?
Don't worry about it.
Anyway, bye.
Yeah, and so they're just super surprised to see Jake the next day. Oh my God, Jake, you made it! Like,
yeah,
you're just chilling, eating lunch, not worried about it. Okay.
And Zach, when we read these a couple of years ago, we always made fun of this. It's like, oh no, we're going to die next day at the barn. Like, just, I don't know, we got out of it. Don't worry about it.
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
And so there's all this like, can you believe what we just saw kind of talk, which, get more information out.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a very serious moment. Like it's like they could be anyone. They could be even someone at our school. And there's this like ominous sound. It's like bong. And it's a shot of Marco drinking a little juice barrel. This little plastic juice barrels that have the little aluminum foil lid
exactly
that you
what
peel
you're
off.
about.
He's like slow drinking this thing to this dramatic music. It's amazing.
Yeah, I love their little awkward. Hey guys, I'm gonna tell you a secret, and they all lean forward like 4 inches, and they're like, okay, now we can talk. Yeah, I don't want them to hear us. Here, come on, guys, come here. Okay, now we can trust the secrets because I leaned over slightly more over my plate of lasagna or whatever.
You would think somebody who has a controller too would be a little bit more attuned to the idea of like hearing somebody talking about Yeerks. That and Chapman's just standing there, just looking menacing, just kind of like, oh yes, well this cafeteria is in disarray because these 2 ruffians have tripped over a table. Someone should gain control of the situation. Again, I love the vaudeville writing for everybody who's remotely bad.
Oh, very much.
It's so good.
And my goodness, does the back of my leg itch.
Yeah.
And then he waits until Jake looks over his shoulder at him, Chapman does, and he scratches the back of his leg just like he did at the construction yard, which causes Jake to say, oh, Chapman's one of them.
It's that easy.
I think the episode ends.
And
nobody scratches their leg like this.
Nope.
They could be anyone.
And those
but
boots.
They always give away this leg scratching.
The little like metal tips on them and stuff like that. I'm like, you got an assistant principal walking around, flexing these boots. These are dancing boots, sir. I mean, these are not wearing around boots. These are fancy.
Yeah, he looks like someone who would like be in Footloose pretending like he hates when people dance, but then he's all about it like on the side at night.
Are any of you going to stop these children dancing to that godforsaken music?
Yeah, and then later at night he's tuning into the radio to hear that same stuff.
This?
He's like, "This is my only time
3/4 time devil's music."
And that's a cut on the first part, right? It's like a oh man, they're everywhere. Even this weird assistant principal, which I think they just called him principal.
Oh yeah, he's just the principal.
Yeah, the end.
In the TV show. Yeah.
By the way, side question on this episode or the next one, did it do the theme music?
I had to go look for it.
Okay, you had to find it. Okay, because I was really afraid that you weren't going to get to experience those opening credits. Because I'll tell you, hot take, for all the faults that this show has, that opening with that music and the intros of all them is banger. I love it. I love the theme song. I love the like gray and white fuzzy animals in the background and them like doing random like fast turnarounds looking at the camera and stuff. Oh man, I think the intro's great. It's the best part of the whole show is the first 20 seconds.
Speaking of the best part of the show being the first few seconds, Episode 2 starts with Jake walking down the street, and he's all nervous because it could be anyone. And so he walks past a black man, and the music goes bong, and
Could be this guy.
and the man looks menacingly at him, and he walks by, and he sees I want to say a Mexican construction worker, and the music goes bong, like, ooh, be nervous.
Turns out,
And then he passes a white woman with a baby.
it's
Oh,
fine.
hello.
Yeah, you're awkward.
And then he passes like some other minority, and it goes bong, like, be afraid, be so afraid.
Turns out Jake's not scared of aliens. He's just scared of minorities.
He touched the cube and got morphing powers and a little bit of racism. So not great. Not a great washout overall.
Yeah. Would you... Ooh, it's like a hypothetical situation. Would you take morphing powers if you became 10% more racist? Go.
Yes.
Moving on.
So that's good. Anyways, yeah.
So he's.
I could get on Letterman
At that point. I mean, even like you said earlier,
the first book.
that opener is a good 2 minutes. I mean, if you're doing a 22-minute episode or whatever, you've just wasted 10% of it walking down the street.
It's like when the theme song for, like, I don't know, the Simpsons goes on, and like, oh, I've never actually seen them go to, there's a short version of the theme song and the long version, and then the, like, we got an extra couple minutes to kill version, where they, you know what they do.
Yeah.
But every episode is that.
And does it just go? Oh yeah, that's right. He's just like walking along and then sees the construction site, right? And then Chapman's there just yelling.
The segue for it is much more absurd, in my opinion, because he gets the end of the street after having his run-ins with people he believes are dangerous, which, wow, bud. And then proceeds to see his authority figure, a cop, driving the wrong way down a one-way street. And he's like, aha, a cop doing something that a normal person would be ticketed for? That's unusual, which, Jake, come on, buddy. I mean, like, take the red pill on this one, man. But
he's not a controller. He's just a normal cop.
Exactly. But he follows the cop, which, if that's not suspicious, I don't know what is. But he follows the cop, and that's how they end up at the construction site.
Okay, where Chapman
He follows the cop in the most suspicious way possible. He's like doing the video game sneak animation.
Yeah, with just big old 90s clothes, big baggy jeans, big like 4 layers that he's wearing or whatever he's wearing. A hoodie underneath, a flannel underneath a leather jacket.
Yeah. Canadian summer. Yeah,
that's true. And he sees that, of course, a principal would be at a construction site ordering people around to dig stuff or undig stuff,
and
also
he's yelling things like, what is this Hork-Bajir footprint doing here?
Yeah.
I don't want to see another Andalite here.
Yeah,
it'll be on the front
kills
page.
Me.
And keep it a secret, damn it.
Yep. Yep, you're right. We saw a Bigfoot footprint. Yep, let's go. We don't have anything else going on in this town. Let's go ahead and put it on the front page. Yeah, sure, bud.
Yeah. and so now he remind me if I'm on track here. Then it's let's go find Cassie at her barn, and everyone just kind of shows up at her barn.
Yeah, just all together at the same time,
Tobias,
not coordinated.
Meanwhile, at Cassie's barn,
Tobias shows up
fairly
first.
Typical transition in the books.
Yeah, Tobias shows up first, and he sees Cassie's mom, and she's like, "Who are you, and why are you here?"
Yeah,
and he's like, and then luckily Rachel and Jake show up, and she's like, "Oh, Tobias, ma'am, this is Tobias." She calls her by her first name.
She does.
Like, this is Tobias.
Yeah.
Like, this is an adult, Rachel. You say Mrs.
Yeah, I think she says Jennifer or something like that. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't say Mrs. Cassie's last name.
That's right.
Can't let
Give it
those Yeerks overhear you.
away. Didn't catch that detail.
Nice.
See, they really did read the books. They were really going for the details.
Yeah, it's so deep lore. Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely not just dubbed over, and you can see your mouth moving in the, Mrs. Such and Such, and it's dubbed over as Jennifer.
Yeah.
And the first thing I noticed about the farm is an elephant walking by in the background. This isn't the gardens. This is Cassie's family's house farm. And there's like 4 scenes with an elephant walking in the background.
How did I miss that?
Either.
Oh my God.
I don't know how I
No
missed
joke.
it either.
No joke. Watch it again. There's elephants everywhere.
I don't want to watch it again, but I believe you.
Yeah. And and so we see a black horse running around.
Yeah.
And to those who have read the books, you know where this is going. It's Cassie, but her mom doesn't know.
Right. Except everyone decides to morph and demorph in this barn, and no one's checking any doors or anything. Whatever.
It's
very
smarter than out in the
morphing.
open. I mean, just turning into a horse
true.
out in the open when cops are driving the wrong way down streets. It's anarchy at that point.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, but okay. Yeah, so we see everybody arrive at the farm, and we see them walking toward the barn as we see Cassie as the black horse, unless they have multiple black horses, which is possible. But we see her running around in the fields, and then they get in the barn, and then where is Cassie anyway? And then there's a horse in like a stable that steps forward, no back door to the stable, just steps forward. Oh, I've been here. I'm
whole
Cassie.
time.
Hey. Yeah, like
Yeah, I don't get it.
teleporting.
Good editing.
Teleporting horse.
Mobius strip of a barn.
So, by the way, this barn scene is just like forever. It's like basically the whole episode.
Yeah.
And so I counted. Marco had 3 separate little fits in a row.
Yep.
He said, "Nothing bad happens to you," and walks away like 2 feet or something. Like just like takes like 2 steps over here and just like huffing and puffing.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm mad. I'm mad, but I still want screen time.
Yeah. So then Jake's like, "Hey, man, you should do it though." And he's like, "Oh, okay. I will." And then I think he
peer pressure
changed
like
his mind again.
crazy.
No, I don't want to do it. Well, okay, I will. And then hey, let's morph this thing. He picks a rat. Why?
No, he said, no, come on, Marco. You got to do it. Look, Rachel became this cat. That all worked out. Cassie's a horse. I got a dog. You gotta do this. You're gonna regret not being able to morph, because is it worse to have morphing powers, or is it worse to have? Oh no, is it worse that your dad finds you dead, or that your dad finds you with a yeerk in your head? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I'll morph, but I get to pick the animal.
Yeah, no one.
How about that rat?
No one said you couldn't.
Really? You
can pick anything.
I want to fight against the yeerks, but
Yeah.
I want to be that rat.
Yeah, it was a weird choice.
Okay.
And then he starts to do it, and he's like, it's too freaking me out too much. I don't want to do it anymore.
Okay, and we finally see them morph. I don't think we actually got to see anybody morph in the... No, Jake
No, you
morphed
see
in the
Jake,
tube, and we
yeah.
saw...
Yeah, but it did like zoom out.
But-
It did like close up to the face, close up to a hand, close up to a foot. You didn't see as much full body-ish.
True.
Yeah, and I had some like real early freeware photo editor app back in the mid 90s, and it had like a liquefy thing, and that's exactly how they're morphing. It's like they just stop moving, and then you can basically see the mouse just like click on the cheek, drag the cheek, click on the forehead, drag the forehead over here. And so he half morphs to like the worst looking face, half rat, half him. It's just like they've turned his eyes green and then like done his eyebrows up in like the most villain eyebrow.
Yeah, stretch his face a little bit, yeah. And he freaks out.
And he stops and he's like, I can't do it. But he stays that way for like
And then Jake's
10
like,
seconds.
No, but dog, I dare you.
Do it.
And, well, crap. Okay, now I have to do it.
Do you a double dog dare you?
Yeah.
Do you double rat dare me?
Yeah.
Sure.
Marco, your pride.
And so I thought this was such a strange choice next. Where's Tobias? Do we really know Tobias? Have we even really known anything about Tobias? Which was already kind of weird. And then Tobias is like hiding behind a tree.
Oh,
and he's
so
like,
weird.
Yeah, he just
he's like, ooh, are they going to see me? He
sneaks
looked
off.
like he was like, I got to go gotta go take a dump or something? Are they gonna see me? That's what it looked like. His face is like, I'm trying to hold this in. Where's my friends at? I'm behind this tree. I thought I was safe. That's what the face looked like to me.
Yeah, but he just like disappears, and they think that he's gone to rat him out.
Which is like, I kind of get it. What a weird thing to do.
And Marco being a rat. Whoa.
Oh, good one. Brings it all around. Yeah, and that's kind of my point on like why I think during like the normal book, the regular book, the real thing is like, why are they able to trust these 5 in the first place? Any one of them could have been in control the whole time, but just luck of the draw, I guess. But in this case, I was like, oh, interesting. They're like going that route to explore that, but then didn't really. It was like, you don't know why Tobias is being weird, and then later they're like, bro, I thought that you ran off, and he's like, no, and they're like, oh, that's right, you saved us. I forgot. High five.
Instead of poop in the woods.
Yeah.
And I wrote a note. This show is so lucky they didn't have HD cameras, just because of the whole morphing thing was just, oh my goodness.
It's incredible graphics. Don't lie.
I think the fascinating part about the morphing is that you get all of these different, it looks like different styles each time. There's one that looks like it's a transparency layer over like 2 versions of the film, or like 2 instances of the film digitally. You get the other one that's like the liquefy tool. You get another one that really looks like they just like start airbrushing stuff on. You get the one that's the terrible CGI with Marco. It's like they said, you know what, focus groups are going to love at least one of these styles of morphing, and we'll just stick with that.
We'll make someone happy.
This is the pilot anyways. Like, I don't know. Interesting idea. Didn't work, but interesting.
So they decide to go get this disc that Elfinger threw like a 2-year-old to Tobias, saying it's super important, and Tobias was like, nope, screw that. You suck at throwing, dude. I'm out.
Not my problem.
Yeah. And they decide to go get this, and they have we have to see.
It's like an Arrested Development where he throws the keys to George Michael, and George Michael just like turns around and it's like,
yeah,
like, don't hit me with those keys.
Jake does go pick Marco up for this plan, and we do see a quick glimpse into Marco's dad, which I think, now that you bring it up, I think Jake calls Marco's dad by first name as well. Maybe he says like, hi, whatever, instead of Mr. I thought he said something real quick looking through the doorway. Oh, hi, blah, blah, because otherwise he's, man, the way Jake is standing out there is really weird. Like, it did like Jake like kind of pulls back and he's waiting for Marco, and it does like a zoom in, and I almost thought like, is Jake a bad guy? Like, is this like a reveal or something? But that's just Sean Ashmore's
just the way
face,
the show is shot. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, we got a plan. We're gonna go. Okay, man. I am gonna go take a boombox and some flares for some reason and yell a lot on top of a trailer. He
tells his dad we're doing a scavenger hunt.
That is what he says. Yeah.
You be a horse and only paint the bottom part blue. And then hide. And then you be a cat and just hope you can find this thing, which I never actually saw her see it as a cat. She just is like, it's in there somewhere.
Just like, it's
great.
there.
And then,
Thanks, Rachel.
It's so far underground that
Homer has
when Jake goes in as Homer, he's like digging and digging and digging, and Rachel goes, hurry up, they're coming.
Yeah, like, how'd you see it?
Dig faster. Like, it has to be like a whole foot underground.
Yeah, they really get these guys chasing after them. Again, Marco just straight up being like, look, I've lit myself up with a flare. I'm wearing a bright orange jacket. I'm yelling. Chase me. You will never find me again.
Is very confusing because he gets their attention from where they're standing. And then he, like we talked about earlier, saunters off, essentially, just kind of like, light jogs away. And they look like they run at him simultaneously. And then they get to where he was at, which doesn't seem like it's been much time because, again, they could have seen him in the first place. And they're like, where did he go? So at what point did they lose sight of him for him to disappear?
This was the scene that I was confused about earlier, where without that running around the corner establishing shot, I absolutely thought that they saw him the whole time. He was like, hey, you over there who I can see, come get me. And then
that's how I took it.
They start running toward him, and then Oh, they're going around the corner.
Now they have to do this chasing thing because they can't have Draken beams in this because guns on TV is bad. Maybe in the 90s you could,
Well,
right?
I mean,
They're beams. They're not guns. It's fine.
Here.
Oh,
Oh
different.
yeah,
right.
Star Trek had
okay.
phasers.
Yeah, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
but they just wanted to. Oh yeah, Chapman's standing practically on top of it. Rachel reports when she gets back from her cat scouting mission. And so, yeah, they lure everyone away so that Jake can dig forever to get this thing that's on the ground.
Yeah, and now they do chase. Chapman chases Jake and Rachel into a like a concrete pipe.
Mm-hmm.
That I just want to make sure I understand this. It's a concrete pipe with holes on both ends, as a cylinder has.
It was like butted up against something. It
was
looked like.
Was it?
It was up against like some just like loose rebar or something. Like, oh, it's going to be uncomfortable if you get out on that end. So you're pretty much trapped. Trust me, you're trapped.
That's what I thought. Was like you just have this like, guys, you could just turn around, just go out that way. Whatever. Here comes Tobias. Oh, I've been awkwardly hiding here as a bird this whole time. And
he comes in like to sears at him, and
no, he just squawks
goes
at him
after his face or something.
It's not even sear.
Yeah, he just like
it's
not even a true sear.
Basically unwatchable. It's clear they didn't go to the source material. they don't even know the sound that a red-tailed hawk makes, okay?
Tobias never even talked about a thermal the entire time.
Not even once.
This is some BS. Yeah. I didn't even, when they saw Cassie, like the bottom half of her as a horse with the blue paint, I didn't even see the blue paint. Like, I didn't realize she had blue paint until she stepped out. Or like a second shot.
It's nighttime. It's nighttime and it's dark. Why even bother with
why
the
would there
paint?
even be a horse? Like,
Just
if I saw
morph
4
a
hooves
blue
as a
horse.
Yeerk, I'd be like, it's an Andalite. There's no horses in the middle of a construction site at night. In
Right.
the city.
The light must be playing tricks on my eyes. Clearly, it's blue.
Yeah, it must be an alien because horses don't hang out at construction sites, but alien horses do. Duh. God, that's basic. It's elementary.
Everybody knows that. It's as common as thermals.
It's common knowledge.
So then they asked Tobias, why didn't you tell us you got the hawk or you acquired the hawk? And he said, quote, I thought maybe I'd like it too much. What does that mean? Like, how does that answer the question? My question was, why did you acquire the hawk and not tell us you acquired the hawk? And implied, run away. Because I thought I'd like it too much.
Then don't do it, stupid.
What? You didn't tell us because you thought you would like it too much. But if you thought you'd like it too much and you were worried, wouldn't you tell someone to come look out for you? Hey, come do this with me because I might need talking out of not being a bird anymore, or something. It's like the opposite logic on this. It's like, what are you doing?
I went
Tobias?
off and drank a whole 24-pack of beer because I was afraid I might like drinking too much.
Yeah,
and I didn't want to tell you about it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Terrible ideas.
Should have turned into a less rad animal up front. Should have turned into a rat like Marco. Learned your lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a nasty taste in your mouth about morphing in general, and then you're fine.
I would love to know how. I at one point I watched this entire run of the show, but I would like to know how they get better morphs. I mean, like, I remember since we were talking about that opening credits awesome jam, they have like their main battle morph behind them. In whenever it shows the actor, and so with Jake they have the tiger behind him. Okay, like, how's he gonna get a tiger with this budget, right? But then Rachel's a lion, and Cassie's a horse, and then I think Marco's a bear, maybe. And then Tobias is a hawk. Yeah, I'd like to know how they do. I mean, I don't want to know enough to go watch any more of these, but. Also, why are they all 20?
It was teenagers in the 90s, man. Times were different. It was a different time.
I mean, yeah, like the book is we've established, right? They're 12, 13.
They can't tell you their ages, so they look different from their actual ages because these are representations and abstractions of the real individual. Identities have been changed to protect the guilty and the innocent.
Right, because if it was them, then I would just know what they look like. I'd be like, yeah, I don't know your last name, but I know exactly what you look like.
Duh.
Shawn Ashmore from X-Men.
Grunge was huge. It makes them look a little bit older than they actually are.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's the flannel.
And then as a closing bit, they're like, "Oh, Tobias, you're cool after all." Yeah, okay. All right, Jake says, "All right, guys, let's all go home, I guess." And they're just going to walk home. And then they just, like, 4 of them walk, and then Jake's like, "Oh, but wait up." And he runs up to catch up to the people who walked away 1 minute ago.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Why are you like imagine we're all hanging out. Say, "Hey, let's go that way." And I just, like, let you guys walk. And then, like, about 10 seconds later, I'm like, "Hey, guys, wait up."
Wait, I don't live here. Let me walk with you.
In the random woods next to the construction site where we're suddenly safe from the people who are chasing us. Yeah.
I mean, that's how it was in book 2. Maybe they did read these books. It's like, no, I'm not on the construction site proper. I'm safe.
Yeah, so we're yeah.
You have no power here.
Yeah, exactly.
I hit home base.
Sanctuary.
You didn't touch the home base item. Exactly.
Yeah, so what do you guys think?
I want to be honest and say that I have seen better TV shows. That's
wow, that's the happiest thing you can say.
Yeah, my closing note was that the Yeerks are pretty much just like, what if adults were mean to kids?
Impossible.
Yeah, did you feel any kind of threat at all?
Not really. No, it's like, these, like, clearly, like, camera and film crew looking guys will chase us through the construction site. Like, nobody was, like, threatening looking. Nobody was, like, stereotypical villain looking.
They spoke like.
Well, Visitor 3 for a moment.
Well, maybe.
And you had him for what? 30 seconds out of 2 parts?
Yeah, and then there was a Hork-Bajir, which could have been scary, except that I think its maximum movement speed in this show is like a slow walk.
Makes me think of those inflatable dinosaur T-Rex costumes that people can wear, like what it would be like to be chased by one of those.
Yes.
And he's got drunk goggle vision, so like the whole time you're seeing him is just like angling back and forth. I was getting nauseous just watching. I'm like, how's this guy going to chase anybody? Poor fella. He needs glasses. Bad.
I got this long, skinny neck. It's basically a spring. Boing, boing.
Oh, man. Guys, I like the Goosebumps show. Oh, man, I have a special place in my heart for the Goosebumps show. It's campy, but it's fun. The show's not fun. For a book about turning into animals and aliens and mind control, take over. This thing was boring, man. Like nothing happened really,
Yeah, I enjoyed the part where Tobias like pretends to be evil, disappears, and then comes back when it's suspenseful.
So weird.
Just as a like, why would you do this? Drama.
Yeah, I thought I'd like it too much. Okay.
What a guy. What a guy that Tobias.
What do you know about Tobias? Nothing, really. Now I think he's just stupid. So,
like, how did something like this get made? Is it like somebody?
Hot take.
My cousin's going through film school right now. I think he'd do a good job with this. All right, here's $2,000. Make it happen. Make sure you get Shawn Ashmore.
$1,999 of it to Shawn.
Oh, here we go. So you want to know how it was made? Okay. The animals in the series were supplied by a zoo. All of it was shot in Toronto, Canada. Due to budget issues, the morphs of the characters were changed and others were omitted. They got a cheaper hawk for Tobias to turn into. And
not a red tail. Okay.
And
a
Rachel
cheaper
has
hawk.
A what?
A cheaper hawk?
Yeah,
this ain't no pet store hawk.
A Harris's
Guys,
hawk,
we were like the cheapest
which apparently
hawk you
is
own.
much more common than the red-tailed hawk.
Wait, which kind of hawk is it?
Harris's.
Okay, it's not actually called in the wild Cheaper Hawk.
If only he were.
Zach, just like you said, what's the cheapest hawk you own? I
want that one.
I was worried that.
Well, we'll give it to you, and you know what? If you keep it alive the whole time and bring it back, we'll give you half your money back. But if something happens to this hawk,
deposit.
You're on the hook for the money. Oh man. We didn't see. I do know there's Tom is in this show, just not in these episodes. But there is a character for Tom. There are other characters that pop up. Some series regulars, but they're just not in this first.
Was he not in the first episode as the blonde-haired guy?
What scene? What maybe?
Yeah, when all of the controllers are rolling up in the first place. I guess that doesn't make sense because Jake would have seen most of these people, so he would have known.
Yeah, like saw his face. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I think I thought that for a second as well. Now that you mention it, but I don't remember enough.
The problem with all of this happening on TV is that the lighting has to be good enough for us to see the characters' faces, which means that the Yeerks would know who you are because they could see your face.
It's got the scrambled and anonymity filter the whole time. Everybody's walking around. They've got the voice scramblers. I can't tell you.
But a lot of the time, it's rare that they're humans close by to these people in the books. You know, I mean, I guess they did that in
That's my brother Tom, right by the studio lights.
They did that on the beach. I guess they hid kind of close. But yeah, like you say, like in the first book, they hid on the beach near the sharing meeting. It was dark though, so in the books they don't see each other.
It is so dark on the beach at night. Mm-hmm. I don't.
Yes, correct.
Need to give away my position any more than I have to, but
we're already going to have to redact the one or two mentions you had earlier when we edit this.
Guys, it's so dark on the boo at night.
More cryptic
at night.
Every moment.
You just start eventually like bleeping out everything except where you live.
I can say where I live. I just gotta scramble my voice and remove any mention of me saying my name.
Oh man,
I think that the part that bothers me the most about this is you've got a 2-part beginning series, and I know that it was lower budget and everything, but you've got a generalized script for how they talk to each other. You've got an idea of the emotional conflict of it, the stakes, and everything like that. And instead, they say, no, how can we make this emotionally cheaper as well as production-based cheaper as well? Like, nobody feels believable. Nobody feels like they're actually interacting with each other. Nobody feels like teenagers. They just feel like cardboard cutouts of teenagers that they put together and said, yeah, they're just treating this like any other old day. It's a bummer. It's sad.
Yeah, and that's a problem you can have with a lot of different things that become film or shows. Off of books, right? Because it's like this book is made to be a show or made to be a film, and then they just destroy it, and you're like, well, why did you take these extra liberties?
Like, I would have loved to have seen the production, but like, it would be one thing if you undersell it as far as the dollar value on it. I want it to be they have a couple of jump cuts that make them look like they're taking really long stairs, and then we finally do get that little kiddie pool full of blue Gatorade that's got all the Yeerks in it, and then you've just got like one guy in a cage instead of like tons of people who are being slotted up to do it, and you just get like a really cheap animatronic spider that just spits out blasts of fire. I want to see the low budget. I feel like that'd be fun.
Yeah.
But they went so low budget that it was just soulless.
Yeah.
We can't afford Gatorade.
Yeah.
How about
we spent all our money on Sean Ashmore.
Off-brand Powerade, please. Thank you. This is Country Time Lemonade. You put green dye in.
There's no Kendrona in here.
Exactly.
Oh, gosh. Well, I would say let's never watch another one of these, but God, it sure feels inevitable that we're going to.
This might be my favorite episode of our show so far. Just complaining about this TV show. I don't feel like we can complain like this about the books because I feel like the books are a lot better made.
Yeah, that's true. Well, they'll have their time to shine as well. Which ones?
Yes.
Are
And hearing from you now, I had to wonder with some points. I was like, oh, is this some sort of plot point that comes up later? And now hearing y'all talk about it, it's like, oh, no, there was just random moments of emotion inside of this show that never actually come to be inside the books. So now I'm a little bummed out,
like the disc
honestly.
thing?
Like the disc or like Tobias being a weirdo. I mean, more than he already is. And, you know, Marco's dad being all sus and everything like that. I mean, it was who knows, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, let's have to wait and find out. Just watch the whole show, and then you'll be spoiled.
No, oh, God, why? No, please.
Well, guys, I think that's been Morphs.
I think we did a good job. Good job.
So, until next time, fellas.
Don't you guys stay in Morph for more than 2 hours.
Nailed it.
That's how they get you.
Out.
Later.
Animorphs 55, the podcast, is a fan-driven, nostalgic podcast created by Zach Hurdle, Patrick Viersba, and Alex Holton. But don't tell the Yeerks. Theme music provided by Neko Boy. Podcast artwork by Rachel Hurdle. Episodes edited by Patrick Viersba. Based on the 90s sci-fi kids series written by K.A. Applegate, Michael Grant, and other contributing authors. To contact the show, email animorphspodpeople@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.